Well, good evening, everybody. Um, Getting ready to start practice tonight. Um, Last night was, for me at least, an interesting one. Found myself struggling a bit through it. Focus wasn't quite there, but all in all, sometimes those are the best practices. And tonight, I don't know if you're out with me on Facebook Live or Instagram Live. You can see that I titled it that sometimes it's okay to not be okay. And it's kind of my theme for the day. That sometimes just when you think everything's going right and going good, you wake up and you got that weird feeling in your belly and your gut, and you just go, it's going to be one of those days. And what's the real answer for that? It's practice. And what do I mean by practice? For me personally, it's trauma recovery yoga practice. That's currently where I discovered the practice of self-regulation and centering, grounding. But the regularity is what helps build that resiliency to where you don't curl up in a ball and hide in your room all day. And I should qualify that. There's still days when that's what's going to happen. And you know what? It's okay. And that's kind of what I mean today. Is it's okay to do that. It's not okay to accept that as a lifestyle. That's not living, at least from my viewpoint. So, hello, Faye Ray. I apologize that I haven't responded to you. It was such a beautiful message you sent, and I've got some thoughts that I want to share with you. I'm happy to see you. Talking right now a little bit about recognizing that it's okay to be a hot mess once in a while. And sometimes it's okay to take and just wallow in your own shit. I ain't quite there today. It's a little bit, but as I was saying, that anxiety is kind of there. And, that's what regular practice has brought to me. The ability to take and keep moving forward, even if I indulge myself in a little bit of wallowing. That's what this is all about. Recognizing that, there's going to be a shit show today. But you know what? It doesn't have to be a shit show tomorrow. And, that's one of the biggest things that I've found in this practice is resiliency. And I think that's what we all need more of. As you've probably seen, my practice, there's bits of levity in it, but it's not that happy, joy. I like to see my practice that I share with you is, it's a reflection of where I'm at. And that's what everybody's practice should be, is a reflection of where you're at. Now, always striving for the better, but just like we say, it's your yoga, your way. And if your yoga is curled up in a ball and focusing on the breathing and just trying to stop the circular screaming monkey in your head, you know what? That's what you need to do. I don't think that you're going to ever see me do that on camera. Maybe sometime, and I hope sometime Faye Ray will come over and drink some of my homemade beer and drink, or maybe a shot or two of whiskey, and maybe then you get to see me curl up in a ball and just have a meltdown, but maybe not. So there's a little bird tweeting at me and telling me that it's time to begin practice. So We all, I hope we all, trauma recovery yoga is about choice. It's about finding a path forward, rediscovering, uh, rediscovering, thank you for that bit of joy, rediscovering that self-regulation that gets lost when we get faced with trauma and adversity, rediscovering the support that we think has been jerked out from underneath of us, rediscovering quite simply how to breathe. It's not just old wives' tale or just platitudes when somebody says, "Hey, slow down, take a breath." The reality is that when we're in those situations, those panic situations and stuff, we literally forget how to breathe properly. But by practicing all of these things, we embed those as good habits in your head. And as I've talked about before, we're not here to break bad habits. We're here to help ourselves create good habits. So we begin by coming into an easy seated position, whatever works for you. And like we said, like I believe, if today you're sitting on the couch, sipping a lovely beverage, enjoying watching Max do yoga, and maybe getting a smile on your face, guess what? You too are doing yoga because you're right here, right now in the present. So as little or as much as you want to do is just fine. So the first thing we do is we begin by grounding. Grounding is simply noticing the support given to us by the earth. Sometimes it's good to take and place your hand down on the mat beside you. Shift your gaze down and truly notice, maybe for the first time today, that support that's always there for you right beneath your feet. That stability that is just waiting for you to notice. So see it, feel it, and truly notice it. Next, we begin centering. Centering is a process of trying to take and bring our focus from out here to in here. We do that by, sorry about that, lifting the pelvic floor as if trying to restrict the flow of urine. And it's okay to giggle when I say that, but that's the best way to explain what we're trying to do. As my sons would say, yeah, you're pulling in your taint or your gooch. And then there's lovely little Carol. Nice to see you tonight. And yeah, you walked right in right when I'm talking about taint and gooch. So we lift our pelvic floor as if trying to restrict the flow of urine. And then we take and the next piece is we pull our belly button in towards our spine. In so doing, you'll notice that you're beginning to stoke your internal fires, your internal furnace. And before you know it, your focus and your concentration and your thoughts are right here. And so the reason we want to stoke that furnace is we'll use it during our practice to burn up all of the stuff that no longer serves us. The third and final portion of this self-regulation practice is noticing our breath. Just noticing, am I breathing in or am I breathing out? Can I feel the air cooling the tip of my nose? Can I feel that air flowing down the back of my throat? Just being aware of the air flowing in and flowing out. Because once you're aware of the breathing, you're right here in the present. You can't breathe in the past. You can't breathe in the future. The act of breathing and noticing that breath is something that can only be done right here, right now. Now we're going to move into deepening that breath with a 3-part yogic breathing or belly breathing. So we're going to release the belly button, and we're going to fill ourselves up with one continuous long inhale flowing down, starting by expanding the belly, filling it up with air, letting the air continue to flow in to where the ribs separate and the shoulders lift. And finally, that last little breath makes the eyes cool and sparkle. And then as we exhale slowly and deliberately from the top down. The chin comes down, the shoulders soften, the belly comes in. Inhale, big belly. Shoulders lift, eyes cool and sparkle. And then as we exhale, the chin comes down, the shoulders soften, the belly comes in. Inhale, big belly. Shoulders lift, eyes cool and sparkle. And then we exhale, allowing the chin to come down, the shoulders soften, and the belly come in. Now I just want you to allow the breathing to fall back into its normal rhythm, whatever feels natural for you. But we're going to take and continue to be aware of that breath. We're going to continue to notice the breath flowing in, the breath flowing out. Maybe even reminding yourself, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. Now we're going to begin the mind-body part of this, where we're going to link the breath to the movement. And what we're doing is we're going to take and notice that we're breathing in. And as we're breathing in, I want you to bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Yeah, I had to pause to remember which was my right and my left, but that's okay. And if you went the other way, that's fine too. I mess them up quite often. But we're focusing on bringing the ear to the shoulder, not the shoulder to the ear. We're thinking about keeping that shoulder blade plugged in so we continue to feel that air flowing in and flowing out. Flowing in. And then as it flows out, we allow the chin to come back down towards the chest. And then on the next inhale, we're going to bring the left ear to the left shoulder. No matter how cranky and cranky and creaky we feel, I know that I'm a little stiff today. Again, we're focusing on bringing the ear to the shoulder, not the shoulder to the ear. And we're remembering to breathe in. And then as we breathe out, we allow the chin to come back down. And the next step along this journey of linking the breath to the movement is we're going to move into neck circles. And we're going to link them to the breath by inhaling, bring the right ear to the right shoulder and back, and then exhale as we bring the left ear to the left shoulder and down. Inhale to the right as we extend. Exhale to the left as we contract. Inhale, extend. Exhale, contract. And one more time around, inhaling to the right and back. Exhaling to the left and down. Pausing and feeling those tendons begin to stretch out in the back of your neck before we reverse that rotation and go the other way. Inhaling to the left and back. Exhaling to the right and down. Inhaling to the left and back. Exhaling to the right and down. Inhaling as we extend. Exhaling as we contract. Noticing that as we inhale and extend, and then exhale and contract and allowing the chin to hang heavily, realizing that that's going to be our sequence, this whole practice. We're going to try to take and keep the breath linked to the movement by inhaling as we extend, and exhaling as we contract. So the next piece, so we're going to take and bring our right hand up, keeping that shoulder blade plugged in, spreading the fingers wide, palm open. Bye-bye, Fay Ray. I hope to see you soon. Shifting the gaze and the palm towards each other. Looking at the hand, blinking the eyes, wiggling the fingers, and allowing the light to flow in and stimulate the happy center in the brain. We're then going to shift the gaze down to the left, bring the left hand into contact with the mat, watching that hand walk slowly away, shifting the gaze back forward, and then extending that right hand up towards the ceiling, feeling yourself stretching, stretching, stretching. And then as on our next exhale, we're going to take and come over the top, feeling the extension on the right, but we're going to feel that contraction also on the left. Inhale back up. Exhale, bring the hands back down to the knees. And then we're going to take and do the other side. We're going to bring that left hand up with the shoulder blade plugged in. Shift the gaze and the palm towards each other. Wiggle the fingers, blink the eyes, allowing the light to flow in and stimulate that happy center of the brain. Shifting the gaze down to the right. Bring that right hand down to the mat. Seeing it walk slowly away. Shifting the gaze back forward. Inhaling as we reach up, up, up. And then exhale as we contract down on the right. Feeling those tendons begin to stretch out in our sides. Inhale back up to center. And bring the hands back down to the knees. And now we're going to inhale as we extend the arms up overhead, interlacing the three fingers, keeping the index fingers pointed up like the pointer on a clock. Bring the pads of the thumbs together. We're going to inhale, extend up. Exhale, contract over to one side, going down 1, 2 numbers on your personal clock. Extend out, and then come down just a little bit more before inhaling back up to center. Exhaling, coming down 1, 2 numbers on the other side. Inhale, extend. Exhale, come down just a little bit before inhaling back up to center. Exhale, shifting the gaze up into the palm of the hands. And on the next inhale, pulling in that core, engaging the core and reaching up, 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 up before we release and exhale, opening the heart up and feeling the weight of the day begin to lift from your shoulders. We're going to take and then bring the left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the right hip, sitting up straight. We're going to twist at the torso at the base of the ribs, shifting the gaze out to the right. Inhale, sit up straight. Shift the gaze further back over that right shoulder and using this front hand, pull yourself around just a little bit more to truly deepen that stretch and pull some of that tension out of those tendons that run up and down your back. Inhale, unwind, bringing the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the left hip, sitting up straight and twisting at the base of the rib cage to look out to the left. Inhale, sit up straight, shift the gaze over the back shoulder, and using that front hand, pull yourself around just a little bit more, feeling again that stretching and releasing in those tendons up and down your back. Inhale, come back to center. And now we're going to move into tabletop. And again, this is your yoga, your way Doesn't matter how you get into these positions. It doesn't matter if these positions are perfect. It doesn't matter if you modify, because this is your yoga, your way. Whatever you do, as long as you're right here, right now, that's your yoga. So we bring our knees underneath our hips, tops of our feet flat on the mat, hands underneath the shoulders, fingers spread wide again, noticing and feeling the grounding, the support offered by the earth. Once you're back to flatten out, pull your belly button in as you then exhale, look back over the right shoulder at the right pinky toe. Inhale back to center. Exhale back over the left shoulder to the left pinky toe. Inhale back to center. Exhale, looking back at the right pinky toe. And one more time, inhaling forward. Exhaling, looking back towards that left pinky toe. And then we're going to move back to tabletop. We're going to shift into bird dog or lion's pose. We're going to shift our weight. What am I doing? Getting a little ahead of myself. We're going to extend the left leg back, tucking the toes, maybe bouncing a little bit, and then slowly lifting that back leg. And I want you to notice those little trembles, those little shakes that are going on in your body. Before exhaling, coming down, and moving into the same pose on the other side. Extending that right leg back, tucking the toes, bouncing just a little bit to begin stretching out those tendons, shifting the weight into the right hand, extending the left hand out, and pulling in the belly button, bringing that back leg up, and again, noticing those trembles, however small or however big they are, noticing those shakes, and just remembering that before bringing it back down into tabletop. Now we're going to move into our first down dog of the night. For me, I tuck my toes and bring my sit bones back to my heels. However you get there is just fine. What we're looking to do is create an inversion, bringing the heart above the head. So I think of it as allowing my legs to unfold. As my sit bones head towards the ceiling, I know my knees are bent. I know my heels are nowhere near the mat. I know I don't look like the diagrams in any yoga book, but that's okay. This is your yoga. This is my yoga. This is real yoga. We're not all built the same. So we practice where we are. Not where we want to be. We practice right where we are. Inhale, look forward. Slowly walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up, flattening the back, straightening those knees. Exhale, forward fold. Bring the hands to the crease in the hips. Straighten the knees up. And then keeping the head bent forward and the shoulders rolled forward, slowly begin to inhale as you stack one vertebrae on top of the other. Slowly, slowly, slowly rising up before rolling the shoulders up and back and ultimately bringing the hands out to the side, opening the heart and opening the eyes to the gaze forward. Feeling a bit more of the day's bullshit slide off your shoulders and down your back. We then inhale, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, forward fold, lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold, plant the hands, step back into high plank. And wow, lucky me, my mat dried out overnight, so I'm not going to be slipping around like I was last night. And then we lower down into low push-up, turn the feet over, pushing up into upward dog, tucking the toes, pushing back into downward dog. And now we begin practicing how we talk to ourselves. And we begin that with those two magic words, I am. Tonight's will be a little bit different, following along with what we talked about at the beginning, about it being okay to not be okay. My I ams tonight, they don't have to be yours. Whatever you want to tell yourself internally is just right. I am not a piece of shit. I am not worthless. I am worthy. Inhale, bring the right leg up. And then exhale, swing that leg forward between the hands, rising up into warrior two. Front knee bent over the front ankle, back foot parallel across the back of the mat, back leg straight, shoulders erect, chin slightly tucked, arms out, looking out forward over that front hand. We're going to move now to reverse our warrior by turning that front hand over and bringing it up towards the ceiling, which automatically brings that back hand down to run down the back side of the back leg. And now we're feeling those tendons and those muscles stretch out on the inside of our back leg. We're going to feel that and notice it as we come back up into warrior two. Straighten the front leg, tip the pelvis back, and then bring that back hand up towards the ceiling, opening the heart to the other side of the room, running the hand down the inside of that front leg, this time feeling and noticing that stretch on the inside of that front leg. Before rising back up into warrior two, windmilling the hands down, stepping back and pushing right back up into downward dog. And continuing that internal conversation, reminding yourself, I am not worthless. I am not a failure. I am powerful. I am in control at this very moment. Inhale, bring that left leg up. There we go. I had to remember which was right or left. Exhale, swing that foot forward between the hands and rise up into warrior two on the other side. This time, noticing, feeling where your shoulders. So again, we're going to turn that front hand over and reach it up towards the ceiling, running that back hand down that back leg, feeling that stretch in that inner thigh. For inhaling, coming back up into warrior two, straightening that front leg, tipping the pelvis back, and again, bring that back arm up towards the ceiling and allowing yourself to fall over that front leg, stretching out that forward inner thigh. Before rising back up into warrior two, windmilling the hands down, stepping back, pushing right back up into downward dog. Continuing that conversation. I am not lazy. I am entitled to take time out for me. I am valuable. Inhale, look forward, hop, walker, jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep it all up overhead. Exhale, pull it down to the heart. Inhale, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, forward fold, lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step back. High plank, lower down, little push up. Turn the feet over, pushing up into upward dog. Tucking toes, hinging back in a downward dog. Continuing that internal conversation. I am more flexible than I was 5 minutes ago. I am taking care of me. I am worth it. Inhale, bring that right leg up. Exhale, bring it forward between the hands, dropping down onto the back knee, pulling yourself up into a kneeling pose. Remembering, this is your yoga, your way. If you want to take and go into a kneeling pose, or if you want to take and come back and bring your heels towards your sit bones into hero's pose, therefore taking all of the pressure off of your knees, that's okay too. So then we're going to take in, inhale, swing these hands up overhead, feeling them reach for the ceiling. And when we shift the gaze up between our hands, we see a beautiful balloon in our favorite color. And today on that balloon, we're going to write down all of the crap that we've been telling ourselves that doesn't serve us all day long. Scribbling, scratching, just pushing it all out through that pen onto that balloon. All of those things that you know aren't true. All of those things that you sabotage yourself with. You put them all down, all over that balloon before lifting it up, 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 and releasing it. And you feel it and see it drifting higher and higher and gently tugging out all of the stuff that no longer serves you, leaving you so much lighter. Inhale, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, bring them down to the mat. Step back, push back into downward dog. I am glad I'm doing practice today. I am glad I didn't create an excuse not to. I am glad I'm right here, right now. Inhale, bring the left leg up. There you go. Exhale, swing that foot forward between the hands, coming into a low lunge on this side. I think I'm going to come right back into hero's pose again. Felt so good to take that pressure off my knees and actually push and stretch out some of those tendons in my feet by sitting back on them. Just know it's okay to do whatever works for you. I'm going to bring those hands up overhead again. And this time, as we shift the gaze up, we see in our hand a beautiful sky lantern, brown paper bag with that flickering candle in it. And into that gondola holding that candle, we're putting all of the anxiety, all of the regret, all of those feelings that are just holding us down and tying us up. We're putting them all in there. We're lifting it up, 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 and releasing it. And we see it floating higher and higher and higher. And we notice that we're feeling more and more at ease the more we distance ourselves from that stuff. Inhale, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, pushing back into downward dog. I am more at ease. I am remembering how to breathe. I am okay. Inhale, look forward, step through into a seated position. Whatever position works for you. We're going to move right into opening our hips and beginning to let some of that deep-seated anxiety, stress, tension get released out of all of those nooks and crannies and all of our muscles and tendons in our hips, in our pelvis, in our lower back. To do that, we bring the bottom of the feet together. Your knees may be up here. Mine used to be. Some days they still are. They may be way down touching the mat. Mine never will be. Your feet may be out here. Your feet may be in here. Whatever works, that's fine. Me, I grab a hold of the front of my feet, front right above my ankles, and I rest my thumb in that little cavity behind my ankle. For some reason, for me, that just feels right. And then I begin to sit up straight, feeling as if there's something pulling me up by the shoulders towards the ceiling until my body has no choice but to hinge at the hips and fold forward over my feet, keeping my back straight and my head neutral. Feeling that opening in my inner thighs, releasing, letting all of that baggage that I've been storing there go. Inhale, feel yourself pulled a little further. Exhale, sink down just another millimeter or two. Not pushing it, not forcing it, just allowing your own body to release and let go of the stuff you don't need anymore. And we're going to slowly rise back up. And we're going to move into position for the first of 3 boat poses. So, keeping the feet together, pull the knees up, letting the feet fall flat on the mat, either holding yourself behind your thighs, or you can lean back on your hands, whatever works for you. Again, this is your yoga, your way. We're going to take and move into a little bit of a balance pose. For you, that's fine. You don't need to. Maybe releasing your hands, maybe leaning back on your hands, but holding those legs up, feeling the tremble, feeling the shake, letting curiosity begin to let you explore what that tremble and shake mean. Right ankle over left, deflate, deflate, inhale, lift the seat, come right back into our second boat pose. This time, making that connection that your mind and body are working together to overcome fear. And that's what that is. That tremble and that shake is fear leaving the body. Left ankle over right. Deflate, deflate. Inhale, lift the seat. Exhale, come into our third and final boat pose. And this time, embracing, pushing, forcing that fear from the body as the mind and body work together to say, we're in charge. I am in charge. Right ankle over left. Deflate, deflate. Inhale, lift the seat. Exhale, set it back down. And roll over your legs. We're moving into a high plank. However you get there, it's just fine. So we're going to move into high plank. That's assuming a position like you're holding the world up, but then you've been turned upside down. Think of it like that. It's okay to have your knees down. And again, this is your yoga, your way. Allow the heels to fall over to the right, opening your heart up to the far side of the room, reaching that upper hand up towards the ceiling. Again, feeling that tremble, feeling that shake. Coming back down. And immediately moving into a high plank on the other side, side plank on the other side. Just feeling and noticing that you are in control of your mind and your body. Coming back down into high plank, lowering down into a forearm plank. Bring the knees down, the thighs down, the belly. Separating the hands to bring your ear to the mat. And finally, just allowing your feet to flop over, bringing the tops of your feet into the mat. Just feeling yourself being supported. Feeling your breath pushing you up, and then letting you slowly back down. And as that breath begins to regulate and slow back down, search for and notice that heart beating, beating, beating. Feel it, hear it, embrace it. Begin to notice that it is pushing love just for you, up to the top of your head and down, down, down to the tips of your toes. And then I want you to bring your head up and bring your other ear to the mat. And now, maybe you begin to feel and see that love radiating out, slowly but steadily, in concentric circles. Maybe at first just embracing your household, maybe radiating out to embrace your neighborhood. Just feel it reaching out with nothing but pure love. Bring the hands flat down on either side of the chest, elbows tucked in before we push ourselves up into tabletop. Just long enough to bring our big toes together, knees to the outside edge of the mat, sit bones back towards the heels. We're going to move into child's pose. And in this pose, you can take and bring your forehead to the mat. Me, for my practice, I like to build my own personal little column or pillar, stacking one fist on top of the other fist. And in bringing that special spot in the middle of my forehead, the so-called third eye, the think center, that connection to the pineal gland into contact with the top of my column. And as that pressure begins to be felt there, it signals your body that all is safe. And it's okay to begin to slow down. And as you slow down, those last little bits and pieces of all of that crap we work so hard to throw away begin to spin round and round in that think center before being sucked down through the interior of your column like a bathtub drain to be sucked up into the earth and dissipated and taken away. Keeping the eyes closed and the head down forward, bring the palms of your hands into contact with the mat. And then keeping that head tucked, slowly, slowly, just shuffle your hands back towards your body, rising slowly, slowly up to where you come up into a seated hero's pose before bringing the head up and blinking the eyes open, rolling the shoulders back, and feeling those last little bits of junk fall off of your shoulders. Now we're going to move into our final position of the night, Shavasana or guided meditation. Now's when you get to choose. You can curl up in a ball like we talked about at the beginning if that's what works for you. You can sit up, you can lay on your belly, or you can do like I do in a traditional Shavasana pose, lying flat on our back, arms allowed to fall just naturally out to the side, hands up or hands down, whatever works. The legs extended out, maybe a foot apart between your feet, and then allow the feet to flop open outwards, which reduces the pressure on your hip joints, allowing your body to begin the process of melting and just releasing into the support that's there for you, provided by the earth. And as you feel yourself sinking deeper, deeper, and deeper, you allow your eyes to flutter close or the gaze to soften gently. As you feel everything in your body slowing down and releasing. Your hands are no longer holding on to anything. Your feet are no longer supporting anything. Where you're lying on the mat, you just feel yourself slowly being absorbed into the earth. You feel your forehead flattening out, your eyebrows drifting further apart, and your eyes sinking deeper and deeper into their sockets. Your jaw falls slack. Your lips stay slightly together, with your tongue resting heavily against the back of your teeth. You feel your shoulders just letting go of everything, not trying to hold anything up, not supporting anything, just being. And as you're lying here, you see a beam of light shooting down and making contact with the top of your head. And as it pushes in, it begins to light up all of the nooks and crannies, chasing away all of the darkness. That light flows down, down, down through your face, down your throat, filling up your chest, rushing out towards your fingers. You feel that beautiful light creating a sense of ease, security, and peacefulness. As that light continues to flow in, filling you up, easing aside all of that tension in your gut, flowing down through your pelvis. You feel it beginning to make your thighs tingle as that light flows down through your knees and pushes down into your feet, filling you completely with light and love. And in this sense of delight that you've created for yourself, I want you to just listen. Listen to these words. May I be safe, secure, and at ease. May my family be safe, secure, and at ease. May my community be safe, secure, and at ease. May the whole world find safety, security, and freedom from disease. Now we begin to invite conscious movement back into the body. Maybe at first wiggling the toes, wiggling the fingers, rotating the wrists and the ankles, pulling the hands into the chest, bringing the knees up towards the chest, reaching the hands up towards the ceiling, extending the fingers, yearning, stretching, releasing, and then wrapping yourself in oh so gentle a hug. And maybe rocking side to side to massage your lower back, thanking it for releasing all of that crap you didn't need anymore. Before allowing yourself to roll over onto one side into a fetal position, pulling your head on your lower bicep, bring your upper hand down into contact with the earth. Feeling again that support, reminding yourself it's always there, waiting for you. And then keeping the eyes closed to hold on to this sense of ease you've worked so hard to grant yourself. Using that upper hand, push yourself up into a seated position. Again, this isn't about grace and poise. This is about you, your body, your mind, and your breath, all working together. I invite you to join me by bringing your hands together, bring your thumbs into your sternum, allowing your head to bow down to the ultimate ruler, the heart. And this time I ask you to repeat these words to yourself and embrace them and know they are as true about you as they are about me. I am complete. I am worthy of giving and receiving love. I am at ease. A beautiful light that shines within me sees, recognizes, and acknowledges that same light within each and every one of you. Thank you so much for sharing practice with me today. Namaste. Well, thank you all. I really appreciate you all joining in with me today. Oh, hello, Jennifer. And hello, Donna. And hello, Keita. And hello, Karen and Tiffany. And thank you all for joining with me today. I hope you have a wonderful evening.